Peace, peace, peace. Abundance, health, wealth, strength, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I grant unto you all, the divine beings of planet Kai. Yes, so I am back with another episode of Back to the Beginning. I'm going to jump right into it. So I would like to start off by saying, the nigga that I used to par with, who Uncle Daddy, self-proclaimed father, didn't want me to par with, which was the reason why we got into the altercation when my grandmother passed away. It was illuminated to me that he was also an handler because he's a part of a cult, he's a part of their cult. And that nigga told me that he sold his soul and he buried it and all sort of things. He told us a lot of things. He gave us a lot of info when it comes down to spirituality and all these things. I could remember that nigga giving me a candle that he drew a cross on, saying that it would keep my grandma away. And my grandma passed. So he was also a part of it. It was illuminated to me that he was also a part of it. And self-proclaimed daddy didn't want me to part with him, but a few months after, he was the same one that was dealing with that same nigga. So that was how I knew that they were connected in some way, shape and form, because, well, they aren't really connected, but because they are a part of the same cult, it is like this: they are a part of the same cult, but they don't like each other. But whenever it comes down to one wanting favor from another, they will pretend that is how they work. They are pretenders. That is how it is, even with the whole family. None of them are good with anyone in the family. None of them are really standing up for the other. They just come together and pretend. I have seen it for myself. I have heard it for myself. They speak ill intent upon each other behind their backs. That is what they do. I've seen it over the years. They only pretend when they are in their one another's presence. Yes, so that nigga told me that he went to meetings and he saw a lot of persons that he didn't know that he would see. He said he saw even the principal of the primary school that I used to go to, which was how it was also illuminated to me that they were all a part of it. And the day when I went to the station of Frankfield, I saw one of the teachers from the primary school that I used to go to. She was one of the person, like she was there watching also. All of them are in cahoots, all of them. Especially they started to come for me, especially when I exposed their cult. Even though I didn't call name, they knew I was speaking about them when I started to talk about the teacher situation and all these things. So they really started to come at me from that moment, and I picked up on the energy from a long time that the teachers didn't like me. Even when I was going to that school, I remember where I was being beaten. There was this one instance where we made some chart and they were placed in the library, and because there was a lot of other students that made charts, and me and some other friends were there and we were making songs, and we took down our charts and wrote on them, and this teacher that used to teach me came, and he gave us whippings. He whipped us, but that day I got the most of the whipping. I was getting whipping from before lunch, and my friends went and had lunch, and even when they finished having lunch I was still getting whipping. And it was a T-square, is it T-square, those long ruler, those long white ruler. It's not a T-square, I don't remember what they call them. Those long white ruler. That was what he had, beating me in the hand middle. That was how they beat us. We had to stretch out our hand. They would flash that long white ruler and plaster it in your hand middle. And I was the one who got most of the beating, even though we all did the same thing. So I also picked up that was some form of ritual also, and also in their cults and all these things, they all have sex with each other, whether they make it announced to the public or they do it behind the scenes. They all have sex with each other. It's all rituals. It's all ritual. So I like to also say that one of my cousins, his name is Jason Rowe, he has a wife. He married her. She works at NCB. It was illuminated to me that they were a part of some bank issue that went on with me. There was this point where I had to close on my bank account because I saw some activities going on with my bank account. I saw a message came in on my Google account about some overseas stuff buying with my card when I didn't even know nothing about that. At the time, no money wasn't even on my card. It was about $500. And I went and I closed on the bank account. It was before I went up to self-proclaimed daddy. I went and closed it down. That was when they were trying to set me up. There was also this instance where a nephew of self-proclaimed mother, I was sent to Maypen one of the days by self-proclaimed father to buy gas, and I ran into the nephew of self-proclaimed mother, which was all a plot and a scheme. Said he was going to the bank to pay for his mother's internet bill, and he wanted me to come to the bank with him because they were planning to set me up to say I was doing fraud. I didn't go. What I did was I bought the gas and told him that I would wait for him. After there waiting for a while, I didn't see him. I went away. So that was a plot and a scheme also that I picked up on. Now, the other day I went to the bank, Maple branch, which is where I opened my account. I went and I asked this lady if I could get some statements. When I went the first time for the hot forex, the statement, I went and got that statement because hot forex, the platform, whosoever manages platform, said that reached out to me and made it known to me that I had to get bank statement to prove that I made the payment and blah blah blah. So I did. Well, I didn't pay any money for the statement. No, I went to the bank the other day and I asked this lady if I could get a bank statement because I wanted to chase back and look if I saw any more illegal activities that were being done with my account. This lady was telling me that I would have to pay $1,500 for the statement, and if I found out that illegal activities were being done on my account, I should have gotten a different account. That account should have been closed down and I should have opened a new one. I told her that when I went back to the bank, because that was what they said when I made the report and they closed. I made a phone call and they closed down the account, and they said that I should come to the bank and get a different code and for my online banking. That was what I did, and I also got a new card. This lady that I went to the other day, she told me that that shouldn't have been the case. That what should have been done was that I should have gotten a new account. So that was what she told me, and I told her that I told her that I didn't have the money to pay for the statement, so when I have it I would return. And that was the end of our conversation, and I went. Yes, so that is it. Also, I want to speak about the high school that I was going to, Clarendon College. When I was going to Clarendon College, I was picked on by the teachers, and also the dean of discipline. She was a woman. She gave me a lot of suspension and all these things, and I didn't know that I was being picked on because, as I said, they are a part of cult and they are all connected. This cult that I am talking, I thought that I didn't even know that this cult was such a large cult. It's a very large cult where you have teachers. This cult is the government. The government within the government. You have the good side and the bad side. You have good and bad in everything. I have always been saying that. You have good and bad in everything. So it's the government that is really the cult that was being after me for so many years from I was a child. They were behind how I got to Jamaica, by the way. So, as I said, I was being picked on and targeted. There was this instance I had a girlfriend, and I was standing down by the football field talking to her, and this woman came and saw me, gave me suspension and write me up, say I was in compromising position with her, which was a big lie. She called the parents of that girl that I was with and told them that I was a cruff and all these things, and tore up our relationship. Also, over the years, every relationship, well, not every relationship, most of the girls that I have been with, I noticed that my cousins, or one of my cousins in particular, he would always sought after those girls after I stopped dealing with them. And he would also have sex with them because it was about spell work and harvesting my energy. Because when you have sex with someone, you are connected to them. But we'll not get into that at this moment. Yes, also, self-proclaimed father was always trying to do that also. They were always monitoring the persons that I was in relationship with. They always were doing those stuff behind the scenes, and yes. So I was told that there was this youth named Kojo. I was told that he's my cousin, and we were very close and these things. So when I was going to Clarendon, he was working at Clarendon College, not for long though, but when I was going there, he was working there. Not long before I left, I stopped going to school. He was working there, working in the office. And I don't remember the time frame, but I remember one of my cousins making it known unto me that he was going through a phase that he was getting off, as they would like to say, going crazy. And when I heard, I just knew something inside me just told me that it was some orchestration. It was a while before I saw him. When he came, he looked different. You would see that he was being drugged and all these things, but he was speaking out, and he was talking about the injustice that he saw. He told me that they are all in cult, even the principal, which I knew about all these things. Over the years, I have been always speaking and talking about how children have been passing away. Every year you have an amount of children that pass away at that school, which is a ritual. They do those rituals so they can win competitions and all these things. You will hear that children pass away from sickness and all these things and blase. It's all rituals. They sacrifice children, and the children that pass away, they are very brilliant children. But not only are they brilliant, they are children who are of high stature, or should be of high stature, ranking in the spiritual realm, even if they hadn't made it to the rankings. So they harvest their energy and get down to what they want to get down to. That is what they do. So what he told me that he was with this girl, or he was, yeah, he said he was talking to this girl. He told me that the principal would, or should I say, was involved with all of the women in the office, which wasn't anything that was hiding when I was going to school there. And those things are all rituals you have even in the churches. I have seen it with my own eye where I picked up on energy. Even at the Sabbath church that I used to go, where the pastor is with all the women in the church, most of them, even children. And the wife, no, they don't do nothing because it's all a ritual. They harvest when the husband have sex with the woman, he harvests their energy. And when the woman have sex with the husband, the woman gets all of that energy and they use it to get money and all these things and whatever. It's all rituals called sex magic, which is also what they were using on me. Because someone can be having sex with you in the spiritual realm but not having sex with you in the physical, and that person ties themselves to you, which is what they always been doing. That is what self-proclaimed that he has always been doing, to get his way, to have his way, to get into my energy. Yes, so that's what they do. They love to do sex magic and raid wombs, destroy women wombs so that they can't have children, and all of these things. There's a lot of things that they do, a lot of overshit behind the scenes, and they get paid to do those stuff. So he told me that there was this girl that he was speaking with. He said the girl liked him and all these things, but the principal wasn't pleased about it, and he said he was the one who attacked him spiritually. And he said it was like he didn't tell me that he was a part of the cult, but I picked up on that energy that he was a part of it. And it seems that, well, not seems, what he saw was going down, he wasn't up with it. And also because he was with that girl, and because of the jealousy of the principal, they started to attack him and all these things. Now, there is something that I picked up and I won't even mention it right now. I won't mention that, but oh shit. He was being attacked and he was telling me a lot of things about spiritual stuff that he knew about and all these things. He is also a chosen one. And they were doing those stuff behind the scene. Well, what they did to him was they gave him weed with coke in it, and it hit his brain. And they were doing also spell work on him. You know, they were doing spell work on him. But there was this time that he went off, really went off, where they couldn't even control him. They had to even tie him up in certain instances, especially when his grandfather passed away. And as I mentioned that, I would like to say Uncle Daddy told me that the grandfather of that cousin of mine who passed away, I heard that he was someone who would steal a lot. And what Uncle Daddy told me is that he stole from his ground where he planted his yam. Said he stole his yam, and he said it was like he dug up yam and he left piece. And he said he took up that piece and he brought it to Obia man. And he said the Obia man told him that same way how he was digging the yam, that is the same way how he will kneel down when the sun goes down or when it gets dark until in the morning. And I heard that was how it was with him. He had to do that every night, kneel on his knees until in the morning. He wouldn't be able to lie in his bed and sleep. What he was saying was that it wasn't him that killed him, because it was a long while after that he died. Yes, so as I said, there's a lot of persons that he was a part of behind the scenes, a part of the cause of their death. And he told me a lot of things. He told me those stuff that I told you that he told me. So I know that he is a murderer. Yes, he came at me, but it didn't work. And the reason why he told me those stuff is because he knew that I would find out anyway. Because I was picking up on his energy that there was something dark about him. As I said, he used to have me starving when I was around him. And he had a silver pan. Normally I would take money out of the pan when he wasn't around. And I noticed that every time he came back, even when I set the pan the same way how it was, and I tell you that pan was filled with silver, he would come and he would start to quarrel about it. That was the moment I started to pick up on that he was or is doing some voodoo, some spell work, you know. And even the place that he is at, as I say, I don't know if he's still there right now, but that place is haunted. When I was there and around him, I literally could hear spirits moving up and down around about the place every single day and night. I would hear the spirits, but none of them attacked me. And he was going through paranormal activities because the spirits that of the persons that he took their life were haunting him. Even though they are haunting him even more, because even the man from Brandon Hill who I spoke upon, that man let me know that he's on his neck. He has his foot down on his neck. And when they came and brought me to the hospital, that psychopath brother of his confirmed that. He told me that, like, he was trying to tell me that what I believe in is rubbish and all these things, and how I am making my grandmother shamed. And I was telling him, okay, we will see who she is shamed of and all these things. And he was saying that they were getting visions and all these things, and how they can't even He was saying that they can't even rest on all these things. He didn't really say that was what he was trying to say. So that was confirmation. But I already knew that these things are happening. They are only pretending. They are very great pretenders. But they can't hide nothing from me. Just like how they do covert shit behind the scenes, they have to tell me everything they do covertly. They might not tell me straightforward what they are talking about, but I can pick up on the energy and I can read their energy. They are very dark and they are into darkness. They are murderers. Yes. So that is it.